All right, now you may know if you've watched this channel for a while that I'm a huge Roku fanboy, and that is thanks in no small part to TCL's Roku TVs. But TCL, which is a brand that I've had my eye on for a while because of their amazing smart TVs, or I should say amazingly priced smart TVs, I wanted to make sure that I hit up this press conference, and I am glad I did. There was at least one major gasp from this huge room full of people here for the TCL press conference. So that's what we're going to talk about now. First, starting off with TVs, because that is what TCL is known for, at least in the US right now, there are a lot of little incremental changes that they're making to make the TV experience even better. The thing that I was struck by the most was that it looks like TCL is trying to carve out a spot in the marketplace as the go-to budget TV, maybe budget TV, I guess, for gamers. So they've announced a lot of little incremental changes, like I said, for that. For instance, in 2020, their new models are going to feature something called THX Certified Game Mode. And that is going to be, well, just that, THX certified, to make sure that your picture is as crisp as possible for gamers. For instance, they're making a lot of hay out of their variable refresh rate. Now, if you're an average user, you might not care about this, but if you're a gamer or if you're a power user of some kind, then this is something that's going to be right up your alley. So gamers are familiar with this. The refresh rate, let's say you're watching cinematic in a video game that operates at a 60 hertz refresh rate, but then you pop into the actual gameplay where they want to, the console is trying to do 120 hertz refresh rate, well, then you're going to run into problems if your TV can't keep up or if it's only set to one of those. But with a variable refresh rate, it just makes that experience a lot more smooth, a lot more along the lines of what the game maker intended. And lastly, the other big thing to come out of this TCL press conference was their talk about 8K. Now, that's not big. We've been talking about 8K since before last year's CES. But the reason that it's picking up a little bit more steam is because one of the things that they talked about was the size of screens are getting so much bigger. It's anticipated that the biggest screens are going to be the biggest movers here in 2020. So we're talking about 65 inches and up will be the fastest growing TV market in the US in 2020. And when you get a screen that size, 8K could matter. Now, 4K is going to look great. 1080p still looks great for those of us who remember old tube TVs, right? But when we talk about those giant screens, 65, 75, 85 inches, then that's a lot of real estate for 4K to try to cover. And so 8K TVs are going to do that for us. They're going to cover that ground for us. And so TCL did mention that they are going to launch in 2020 their first 8K TV, which we got to take a look at over here on the other side of the room. But for those of us like me who are fanboys now of TCL, or potential fanboys, we'll call it that way, there is a lot to talk about as far as expansion into new verticals, where it's not just TV anymore, it's other devices as well. They are debuting some headphones, some personal audio headphones, home audio, like a new sound bar, including some software that's going to make it, according to them at least, a lot easier to hook your sound bar up to your TV and make them work seamlessly. But the big winner of this press conference was TCL's mobile announcements. They've announced 3 new phones, the 10 Pro, the 10L, and the 10 5G. So these are all TCL branded models of phones. And so this is brand new to us here in the US, and we can expect these models to launch sometime in the second or third quarter probably of 2020. And you may be asking yourself, why do I care? Well, because they've taken, as they've done with the TVs, they took the technology that was so innovative and so groundbreaking a few years ago, and they've brought it to the masses. And so I mentioned earlier, there was one huge gasp from the audience during this press conference, and that was when they talked about their phones. They've got the 4 cameras across the back and the wraparound screen, kind of like the Samsungs, all sorts of features that we are used to, but then they announced the price, and they are going to be starting at under $500. Just, you know, it's crazy that they're able to bring that technology to us at such a low price. This is what I love TCL for, is that they take other companies' innovations and make them a little bit more manageable for folks like you and me who may not be able to spend $1,000 every year on a new smartphone. So that's essentially what we got from the press conference today, but I'm going to go check out the booth when the show actually opens up tomorrow. I'll go tour the whole TCL booth and get a little bit more hands-on time with that, so hope you'll stick around for that. We'll have more videos coming your way from CES 2020. Thanks for watching, everybody.